Hello everybody, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 39 of Project Ozone 3. Today we are, with any luck, going to make the last two creative items, with the notable exception that we are choosing, or at least I am choosing, to not go for the creative chest. Just because if I were to do it, it would require probably another week-ish of just waiting time, maybe even more. And yeah, I'm just not down for that. That basically sums it up. So we're gonna wrap things up by making the creative generator as well as the creative mana pool. So both of these are gated by the chaos ingot, and if we recall the chaos ingot, let's see, it's 5, 10, 11 chaos catalysts each. So let's count how many we need. 1, 2, 3, 4 chaos ingots, and this is 2, I believe, 2 chaos ingots. So 6 by 11, so we need 66 chaos catalysts, and I don't think there's anything here of particular note aside from that. So 66 chaos catalysts. All right, so then we need 66 infinity catalysts. Let's start with those. Good thing is we have more than that, so let's see. That'll make the first 64, and it'll craft a few more. All right. Now, of this Chaos Catalyst, I think we had already gone through and made sure that we have the ability to make all these items. Oh, except the Naga scale. So I guess I'll go set up a spot, one of these root farms for the Naga real quick. One dead Naga coming right up. All right, and we're spawning in Nagas. We only need less than 2 stacks of scales. So I think I'm just gonna, let this run like 10 cycles and then switch it back to whatever it was, imps. Not that we need imps too, but I don't have room set up to store all these items, and I'm too lazy to, add more drawers to my system right now. And yeah, in just a minute, we have more than enough Naga scales to carry us through to the end. Well, we started off the pact working for trees. Seems only appropriate that we end it doing the same. These are for the tree resin, which is for the amber star, which is for the chaos catalyst. All right, so all the components for 66 chaos catalysts are in here, with a notable exception that these stones don't stack. So there's only one of each. Now I have plenty of them, but the issue is to move all of this over to the crafting table, I have to basically do one craft at a time with these stones. That's kind of a pain. So let's, perhaps for our last automation in the series, I'll do one where we teach the AA system how to craft this, despite it using, way more than 9 items. And the trick to that is use dummy or placeholder items. So I have a bunch of named sheets of paper, 8 of them, named 1 through 8. And what I'll do is let's see, for the recipe, I'll tell it that it needs a part 1, a part 2, part 3, part 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to make a chaos catalyst. That's the recipe. We'll set that aside for a second. And the next thing we do is, for each part, we tell it that, these items make this part. So, one of you, you. I want 9 total items. Oh no, hold on. I need 8 items, don't I? Alright, no, I can do 9 items. There's a way to make this process fully automated where you don't have to, when you request the item, you don't have to cancel a leftover hanging crafting task, but that's significantly more complicated, and because we only need to use this a few times, I'm not going to do that. If you want to make it fully automated where you don't have to cancel the crafting task, you do need a blank paper as one of the inputs, and you have to mechanically rename it to this using the inscriber nameplates. Let's see. Using these name presses. They don't have a crafting recipe, but they're made with the knife. Right, I think if you take this and an iron ingot, or maybe any metal ingot, Shift right click it, yeah. And then you can get a nameplate like this. So you would name it Chaos Catalyst Part 1. You would take a sheet of paper, put it through it put it through an inscriber with this name press, and it would mechanically rename it to that. And that's how you can, trick the AE system into doing the processing for you. Like processing, merging multiple items together. But I'm not doing that. So anyways, this is our first recipe. Part 1 is made from these 9 items. We'll save that. And my plan is to put it in here. I don't have my ring on me. Alright, so the plan is we'll put this recipe in here. Whoopsies. In here. And for now I'll put the items in here. So that when I request it, what'll happen is it'll dump all of those items into this chest, thinking that we're trying to make a Chaos Catalyst Part 1, like this paper item, but we've tricked it. So we have to make a similar recipe for the Part 2 of the Catalyst, and we'll do the same for Parts 3 through 8, where each of them will contain up to 9 unique inputs. So with all the recipes drawn up, we place them all into the interface here. Part 1 through Part 8. Technically, this last one can go anywhere, but I'll put it in the same interface as this, just for brevity's sake. I believe we want blocking mode off, and this one doesn't matter. So all we have to do is hook up, or I already placed all the items in here, so before we hook up power, let's save the recipe and configure it. Let's see. I definitely want smart insert. That can always be on. Input from top, and we're not doing anything with the output. We'll just let it sit in the output slot. Alright, so then if I hook this up, it should craft that first one for us. Power. Yep, that crafted one. And now, if I request a what's it called? Chaos Catalyst, we should see that it's doable here. And it'll generate a crafting plan. Oh, it's missing something. Oh, right. Let me move all these items back into, let's see. Easiest way to do that is to turn on the magnet and break the crate. All right, let's try that again. Turn this off. So now, in fact, let's order 10. This should succeed. Why will it not start? Let's try shift clicking it then. No, what doesn't it like? 1 second. Alright, so I figured out the problem, and it is more or less what I expected. So what happens is, these stones, some of them have metadata, or MBT data when you withdraw them. And I think it's just like, no, it has 0 tags of MBT data, as opposed to no MBT data. That's a subtle but important difference. So what happens is, if I deposit these in our ME system, you see how these don't stack? The ones with 0 tags and the ones with no tags are different items. So what happens is, when I programmed this recipe, I told it to use the one with 0 MBT tags, right? Because when you withdraw it and put it in your inventory, it becomes the 0 tag version, eventually anyways. But anyways, what I need to do is I need to make sure to use the no tags version. So I think if I just, let's see, right now this is 0 tags. If I switch this to no tags, I think that should fix it. And likewise for any of these that have like Soulstone, I need the no tags version. Yeah, a subtle but important difference. So again, if we check, yeah. Anyways, I hope that fixes it. Likewise, I think we have to update the recipe here. This matches exactly. So these, because, again, they're the 0 tags, not the no tag version. It's a pretty annoying difference, but we have to clear the recipe. Let's request 1 Chaos Catalyst, which, if it works, should dump all the inputs into the input crate, which it did. And I'm hoping that withdrawing these items, putting them in my inventory, doesn't... screw that. Let's see. I need to find a way to get the zero tag version, or the no tag version, into my inventory again. I did it before, I'm not quite sure how. Alright, I think I figured it out. So if you withdraw the item, it doesn't have an MBT tag until you put it on your hotbar, at which point it rather promptly gains it. So no MBT data, you can move it around, do stuff with it. As soon as it goes in your hotbar, it gets the MBT data. Good to know. So anyways, now we just have to remake that recipe. So all I'm going to do is grab these items, put them in. And I'll let JEI figure out where everything belongs. Oh, am I missing one? No? Is it? Oh, it's shaped. I thought it was shapeless. Anyways, no output. That's not good. Inspection, in the recipe, it actually specifies the 0 MBT tags version. So I have to take these out and replace them with these, which have 0 MBT tags. Alright, cool. So that makes the Chaos Catalyst. We can save that recipe. And we have to come up here then and replace these once again. Let's see, part 3. So this recipe has to specify you must absolutely use this version of the stones. And you must absolutely not use that version, which is kind of annoying because I can't automatically give it the MBT tag. I have to literally withdraw it into my inventory to do so. But I mean, withdrawing the items once and putting them back in immediately isn't the end of the world, right? So let's see. There's one crafted. Let's turn auto insert up, back on, and see if I can order one. This is one of those like rather subtle nuances of hey, there we go. Of this, like when you create these custom scripts to make these custom items in like Craft Tweaker, you have to be very careful about, you know, how picky you are with MBT tags and stuff. And it's you know, I respect pack authors who give it a shot, but it's very easy to do wrong, as is demonstrated here. Anyways, we just auto-crafted a Chaos Catalyst. So before I can auto-craft more, I have to go to each of these stones and literally just withdraw them and then deposit them. And they have to go into my task or into my hotbar, so let's make more room there. Anyways, I'm going to have to withdraw like 100-ish of each stone. So I'll be right back. Alright, here's some even more wonky behavior, because apparently that's today's theme. While I'm depositing these items, you see how sometimes it forms 2 different stacks in the AE system? And I'm honestly not sure what the difference is. Like they're, as far as I can tell, the exact same item, and if I withdraw from this stack and deposit it again, it merges with the first stack. So, next up on unexplained wonky behavior, I have no freaking idea. Well, I found a trend. It's always the one I withdraw into the 4th slot in my hotbar that goes to this stack. Every other one goes to the first stack. Like, these 3 will go to the first stack. This one will go to the second stack. And I assume if I do this, the 4th one will still go to the second stack. I have no clue what's cursed about my number 4. Oh, it's the one that's in my hand. Hold on, so if I do this, will it become the number 3 hotbar slot that behaves differently? It is. No clue what the significance is. Alright, so having done that, now we can hopefully request our other, let's see, 63 Chaos Catalysts, right? We need 66 total. Start. So, that should dump a whole lot of materials in here. those will automatically get populated into the appropriate slots here. And what we have to do is when it's done crafting, it'll leave this hanging crafting job here. This crafting job won't get automatically cleared because we don't actually craft these papers. So they'll be left hanging. We just have to cancel it. But we don't want to cancel it until all the items have been placed. So this will probably take it a couple minutes to insert the items. So I'll wait for that to finish. It's nice to see automation at work. Wait. Okay, I was about to say, wait, did it not work? But no, it's crafting these a little bit slowly. I don't know why it gets stuck sometimes, but it seems to find its way. Whatever, it'll be done soon enough. Cool. All our chaos catalysts are done, and while they were crafting, I was doing some prep work. So this should be chaos ingots. Oops, missing infinity ingots. Alright, so this should be chaos ingots. I hope I got enough. 6. I believe that was exactly how many we need. So let's put this spare stuff away. Oh, whatever. Next up, let's see. The generator, I think, is easier, so let's do that. Unfortunately, I'm not getting quest completions. I think it's because I have I missed a step somewhere. Yeah, I still haven't made the neutronium collector to get quest completions. Oh well, whatever. Creative generator, hyper energy cubes. Oh, they probably have to be empty. Alright, you have to turn off then, and I have to make 2 new ones. These were what they were, ultimate energy cubes. And I already took my capacitor off, so these 2 should stay empty when I withdraw them. Let's see, empty. There we go, creative generator. That one should be a quest. Alright, and last but not least, let's put all of this crap away. We have our good friend, where are my last 2 chaos ingots? Everlasting Guilty Mana Pool. So this produces RF power, right? I don't care. All we have to do is put all these items. If I counted right, this should be everything to make the mana pool. So you go in the middle and everything else goes around it. And order doesn't matter. And we did it. Everlasting Guilty Mana Pool. So I suppose, may as well put you to use, right? You can break this mana pool, put you down, put your spark on, and your recessive augment. So that way now any other mana pools that we place down in the area, I think these all hold the same amount of mana, so we may as well use the glowy ones, right? Will just automatically get filled with, oh, they also need a spark. Any mana pool with a spark will automatically get filled with mana from our creative mana pool. What's the significance of that? Probably nothing at all. So anyways, I think as we discussed, I was planning on calling this more or less our stopping point for this pack. But before we, wrap it up for good, I think it's good to do a quick retrospective. What did we like about the pack? What could have gone better? So, start in the early game. I think the early game was great. I really liked that the pack offered a very fast furnace. And in fact, in general, I like that the pack offered very fast processing for just about all steps. I don't know if they changed the energy requirements of like these high tier RF tool, or not RF tools, but Ender IO stuff. Like if they made them run faster, or if the pack developer made it run faster, or if it's just that's just the way these enhanced machines run. But I really like them. And yeah, I like how in general this pack wasn't all, it wasn't until the very end game. It wasn't huge scale processing. It was more, you have to process a little bit, but you have to get you get a bunch of raw resources from, right. We had our sifters, and we still have our farm going, so I think that was good. I like that the mid game had a very large surface area of mods that we touched. So, again, looking at the quest here, we did a lot of stuff in a lot of mods, even if we didn't like dive deep into them. Or one quest from finishing it. What a shame. Even if we didn't like dive deep into a lot of these mods, we didn't dive deep into extreme reactors and build a turbine, or we didn't dive deep into nuclear craft and build the molten salt reactor. But I think it's good to have exposure to a large number of mods, and I think that's appropriate for like an expert style pack. I liked the mix of magic and tech. That was fun. There were a few mods that got a little grindy, I'll admit. Galacticraft. I hate you, Galacticraft. But besides that, until we got to the end game, I really didn't find the pack to be very grindy, and I love that. So great. Now, as for the end game, I think it's tough to make an end game that's not grindy. So I'll, points for what it is. I think when I first played through the pack on normal mode, for these singularities, you needed let's see, there were maybe 20-ish singularities, and I think that would have sufficed even here on Kappa mode. Like all these singularities that use EMC, make me do 2 or 3 of them, but you don't have to make me do 63 of them, right? I think there's a lot of lost value after the first few. And likewise for this, maybe we can afford to take a 0 off that number, right? Like it's no longer over 9,000. It can be 901, and there's really no lost value. You still have to build. Well, you still would end up building very similar systems, because that's kind of like the only way to produce. Even if you only need 900 for a singularity, I think you would end up with a very similar process, just one that doesn't take forever. Yeah, besides that, I think having gone here now, I think if the chaos plank were duplicatable, I think it would be a lot more reasonable to finish out the pack entirely. But the fact that the chaos plank isn't duplicatable means you need you need to make 8 wands of animation. Like, come on, where's the fun in that? And some of these battles have some very annoying bits in them. Let's see if I can find one. There's one in particular. So Draconium Seeds, well, this one isn't bad. It's a little annoying, but there's one in particular that I was looking at. I was like, wow, I would hate to have to make that. Let's just look at... it uses these Spectre relay coils. 400 Ender Spectre relay coils to make this gear, to make, this ingot. And this item, I looked at that, I was like, wow, to try to craft all these Spectre strings without EMC is you need a lot of ectoplasm. But anyways, I mean, I guess a mob farm produces that. Whatever, as someone that did not rise to that challenge, I think I am in no position to really critique it. But yeah, I think the endgame could have perhaps benefited from being a little bit less, ridiculous number-wise. But it was still fun. Anyways, I think overall I got what I expected out of Project Ozone, which was, an exposure to a very large number of mods, heavily intertwined, a handful of pretty fun automation challenges, like the capacitors that we used to be doing here. And yeah, not too much grinding overall. So, That said, I think the next pack I'm looking to do is Celestial Journey. I'll probably take a day or two off before starting it up, but yeah, Celestial Journey I think is similar-ish, except there are some. It's like I guess they call it like the spiritual successor to Divine Journey, which in which at least for me was one of the mods or the packs that really got me into like understanding how automation, the importance of it in very large scale. So I'm hoping that Celestial Journey really, grows on those themes and not the like grindy ish divine RPG bits. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can. I mean, that I'll have fun playing it. I'm hoping that you'll have fun watching it. Um, so yeah, we'll be back in. Honestly, I don't know how long. Maybe a couple days, maybe a little bit longer. With Celestial Journey. Look forward to it. Anyways, if you have any, feedback regarding the series, regarding I don't know, like how annoying my keyboard is, deal with it. Um, you can let me know in the comments. And anyways, I've ranted enough, and it's 4 a.m. and my roommate probably hates me for talking right now. So I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.